So we'll start with this. AOL, are you a content company or are you a technology company?
That's a good question. I'm happy you asked. It is both, absolutely both. We do not believe that there is content without technology and technology without content. In fact, when we talk about what we stand for, we say AOL is the place where culture meets code. And what we mean by that is basically bringing together these two assets. I think very few people in the industry actually understand what the mission of AOL and the new AOL is. So let me tell you, right? Like when we think about what we do, we say that we exist to simplify the internet for consumers and creators by unleashing the world's best builders of culture and code, right? So it is a pure technology and platforms mission, but one that is rooted in technology and platforms, allowing us to create new forms of content that that leverage everything that consumers want to do.
So when you say that mission to advertisers,
Mm-hmm.
do they understand the landscape, and do they have an appetite for what you guys are building? Do they have questions around specifically addressability and programmatic and other words that they may or may not understand? What's the advertiser world look like for you?
When we talk to advertisers, we talk a lot about the advertising barbell and why content and audiences are two realities that come together as consumers progress through the purchasing funnel. And that absolutely resonates. The challenge is those two realities until now have lived in very different silos. And the work of agencies and advertisers is bring those two worlds together for consumers. So we're doing a lot of work to help integrate those two different pieces. I will tell you, resonates absolutely. Is it challenging because we still live in a very fragmented and silo world, and because we're trying to connect the offline world with the digital world? Absolutely challenging, but that's what we do in the industry, and that's where I think the opportunity for all of us is going forward.
Your legacy is also very much understanding consumer behavior and
Mm-hmm.
how people consume content. So how much of your role and what you're doing is education as opposed to being able to just go out and sell spots?
I think it's a lot of my role is education. A lot of my role is helping and working with advertisers to understand what are the best media buying tactics, what are the best marketing strategies to bring together below the line and above the line advertising strategies. So there is a lot of joint ideation. There is a lot of us sharing all of the consumer behavior data that we're able to gather through all of the properties that we have, helping marketers and agencies understand how fast is the shift to mobile? Like, why is it that 50% of the audience in the Huffington Post is reaching content through mobile devices today? And how do you marry that with social distribution tactics? We have a lot of the data that consumers show us through their interaction through our properties, and being able to share that with our advertising partners becomes critical to them connecting the brands with the consumer.
So when you look at the overall landscape, what's the biggest challenge right now for advertisers that you guys can help overcome?
I think complexity is a challenge. We keep talking about, with innovation comes complexity. Innovation, new technologies, more and more fragmentation. I think every year we think we're at the peak of fragmentation, and we find ourselves 12 months later with even more fragmentation. So we're doing a lot of work in the technology side of the house and in the platform side of the house to bring all of those pieces together. We've been talking about One for AOL and bringing DMP technology together with all of the DSP targeting and real-time optimization technology for display, for video, for linear television, and then doing attribution in the back of all of it to bring all of the pieces together. So we're trying to simplify by bringing the pieces under one, and we are, and we're doing that together with advertising partners. I think it is still early on the simplification route. We're doing in the digital world something that we never even dreamed that we could do in the offline or television world. So it's going to take still a few years, but if we continue to push towards simplification, I think there is something magic that could happen there.